As Vice President, Masari withdrew from the nomination on June 24, 2022. Tinubu did not replace him until July 2022. This is 21 days, 7 days more than the mandatory 14 days for replacement. This violates Section 33 of the Electoral Act, which requires that any replacement of a vice president nomination must be within 14 days. The APM has proved these facts in the tribunal against Tinubu. In the past, the courts have nullified similar nominations. The law is the same. Section 142 of the Constitution requires the tribunal to nullify Tinubu's candidacy. The tribunal should uphold the Constitution by disqualifying Tinubu as it has done before. This is not politics. It is the Constitution. To become president, contrary to the law, is to carry out a coup against the Constitution. To allow Tinubu to remain in office or to participate in a rerun election is to violate Section 1 of the Constitution. We don't want to be like Niger and Mali, where disrespect for Constitution has led to coups and civil wars. Judges should save Nigeria. No one is above the law. Even under military dictatorship, jurists like Esho and Uwais upheld the rule of law despite threats to life. They believe in the rule of law, not the rule of force or privilege. All eyes are on the judiciary. We know that Tinubu's nomination violated the Constitution. He must be disqualified and removed from office. The tribunal must defend the Constitution, like the Kenyan Supreme Court, that in the face of threat nullified the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. As Justice Oguntade advised, justice must be done even if the heavens fall. When justice has been done, the heavens stay in place. The tribunal should do justice and the heavens will not fall. The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal will decide whether it will allow a person with forged certificates and criminal conviction to be the president against the Constitution. If the tribunal fails to disqualify Ahmed Tinubu, despite clear evidence of forgeries and criminal conviction, and disregards the Constitution, it destroys public integrity in Nigeria. The evidence before the tribunal is clear that a U.S. court convicted Bola Tinubu of drug offense and ordered him to forfeit a huge sum as fine. He also presented a fake certificate to INEC. The Constitution disqualifies from public office anyone convicted of a crime or who presents a fake certificate because these crimes undermine public integrity. Since 1999, a speaker, a Senate president, and a Minister of Finance have been removed from office because they presented fake certificates. None of these had criminal convictions, but presenting fake certificates was enough to remove them from office. Today, our country is overrun by criminality and forgery. The tribunal cannot continue to encourage crime. We cannot be a republic of fraud. Otherwise, we lose credit and reputation and become a criminal state where even judges themselves will be victims. The tribunal must disqualify Tinubu for certificate forgery and criminal conviction. It must heed the advice of the Supreme Court in Saleh versus Abba that the courts must actively fight certificate forgery and should never allow anyone who presented a fake certificate to contest election in any public office.
Of course, Labour Party couldn't have been silent on that because Labour Party is the only party that won 25% and above in Abuja. So there's no way we could have been silent on that. The only party that won 25% and above. Others came distant second and distant third. Yes. On the issue of rerun, I do not want to predict the court because we presented a lot of issues. I thought that some of you should be very much worried that the election conducted by INEC, we presented 18,088 blood results from the IREF. Then INEC now gave us CTC of results. From there, we harvested 8,123 blood results. Some were completely blank. Some others were pictures of human beings. Some others, buildings. Some others, you have results that are not polling units, like ward results, local government collection results, and so on and so forth. That is something that should worry every Nigerian.
They relied on it.
They relied
to
on
pronounce
it.
Somebody.
They relied on it to declare somebody the winner of an election. How can an institution, public institution like INEC, certified blank documents and said that it certified polling unit results, certified photographs and said it certified polling unit results? I mean, they should stop taking Nigerians and Nigeria for granted. It's very unfortunate that this type of thing should be happening in the 21st century. Other countries have moved on. We are still running round and round and round and round. Round and round, trying to organize election. Yet, we are behaving as if we are still in the primitive age. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Huh?
That is a constitutional issue.
No, that is a constitutional issue. That's a constitutional issue. So we addressed it sufficiently. So it's for the court. Yeah, there are so many grounds we presented. So it's for the courts to decide. So, but what is important is that we sufficiently presented